I had a sense among your people that we keep failing, that we keep falling short, that we don't seem to understand the pure truth of your holy word. Spiritual beings are spiritually discerned. Today, grant us spiritual discernment. The enemy is marching around and we're trying to take away a message that you want the people to hear. A message that's been repeated many times throughout history. Today, I will become your servant and ask that you keep the enemy of this place designed to be a holy place where we can commune with you when we depart throughout us and that you have spoken. In thy name, amen. Spiritual things are spiritually discerned. So when you see the core text and of mixing the spiritual message, this is not a recipe on how to become wealthy. It's showing that there are two types of wealth. And we in this church know that dearly. It's the currency with which we use to maintain our lot in life. There is a currency that is greater than the designated currency of the nation with which you reside. There is health, which is a currency which is valuable. It's the currency of time. This message today is about the easy part. Getting interested in someone's life and trying to help them. That's help. Disrespect it because they appreciate what you're trying to show them. That's painful. It is so easy. It's so hard. You look at this earth through earthly eyes. We try to set ourselves apart from people. We have a family. We have a congregation or a club. We have the room. And then we see others. What is that about? Is that? Trusted with that, and also be trusted with as with so with you see, yes, honesty is not respect or how much. There's honesty. Yes. Surely. What is acceptable in God's eyes? So you're understood. That's accepted in God's eyes. It was zero. The second lesson presents an interesting situation. 24,000 people. 24,000 people, 600,000 people left Egypt. I think there's approximately 1 million, which most people can that high. Could be a 2 million. It's a 0.4. and 600,000, and you can do this. Really, I'm saying through the people. Such a fabulous. That honesty doesn't have so dishonest greater dishonest. That's why you can make this statement. If you are dishonest, you will have dishonest. Stop. Different. You have not been trustworthy in doing trust you with your true wishes. See what this. Because if anything on this world perishes, they fall. If this worldly world is that true riches, and see it. Trust you with the affairs of this world. Trust you with the affairs of heaven. See it. Trust with something as well. Again. Trustworthy with something that says the prophet. Understand you the concept. You because of the lens of the law and nature. So you something you different that you can't just that you can't have straight a little far outside the box. Stones. Grass was the first my that's it. Will to the customers. Serve this planet. Someone has to clean does that. Serve this planet. Serve that. Just read it. Numbers. So what read this? It's important to understand that when you think you own something, you don't. You're a caretaker. That's the purpose of time. To remind us that it is not. That's the purpose of government. Testament to remember it's not your person. That's the purpose of the teach. 70, because you let them go. The purpose of every 49%. Give the property a son. My God, and then to believe to take to it. It's clear. So trying so hard. Can you get it? Second Kings, I believe. That's right. Second Kings chapter 4. Study. Can be the next with January selling January selling into the wind. Jan sale. They got so much money they just don't really care. So we want to know that we are using for charity is genuinely to forward the purpose of God. So let me give you some basics. I would encourage you to write this down. Instructions. First, you have Luke 16, 10 to 13. Second Kings 4 through 7 is an illustration. Luke 15 gives you all specifics you need to know. And that's all. Also, chapters and data through. There was a few more words and so on as well. It was awesome because the prayer has something. The rugby, still the rugby, the patterns and the notes and whatever. There's a picture of society. It's a speaking of something. So it should become so far removed from the other that they think they're distinctly different. It is the that makes the job. Said that very specifically. It's the that give the job. Says the person who is happy should sit this. How could you? Says someone who is healthy should sit in a chair and do this. In fact, God says if you are faithful to Him, that's all. for this week and potential last 8 months. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Let's look at the illustration. Yeah, we don't have enough time to go into the specifics right now. Get too passionate. Say something like should. Put this example. We recognize that authorship does indeed come to people. It's a perception of a living God. Yes. This is dear Lord. Deal. Second Kings. Through 7. Second Kings through 7. Wow. The story and the Bible. Right. 31. Of the wife of the son of the prophet crying out to the left and that. That's what I feel. I'm not sure what next song. Just a moment. Right. I'm not sure what next song. If I'm signing out, hold up. You're so. Yeah. Yeah. So. Give another shot. That's a right. So the wives of the son of the prophet cried out to Elijah. So what's the third point I want you to know? What's the first point he wants you to know? So no, any woman the prophet is a son, which means what? Presumption that she was a godly son. That she was married to a different person, that she was married to a person who was a of the soul. Yes. She cried out, "Your servant is hungry." Coming. Coming. Two sons. Stuff is happening. It's suffering from children to become a slave. So you can't sell the place. You do suffer. That percent for 14 years, whatever the case may be. A surgeon. God's come to please don't make the mistake of thinking that God doesn't love me. God something that was far from the rest of us. We'll test your ability. God did not such a mention this planet. He promised that food and John is asking us, that's what he's trying to set for this time. So how does this godly man his children be slaves? That's the best he did. They got alone. Society. Two. Listen to him. I'm trying to do for you. Tell me, you have in the house. Don't you say that table is nothing else, just a jar of food. Now, my statement's incomplete. She just expressed her concern that her two sons were going to be enslaved. So the implication of the question is, what else is in your house that you find? If this oil was used for food, this oil was used for baking, some combination of the two. Some sources, particularly Native Americans, that oil was often used for healing. Think about that. Some of it's probably time and we should read. See, it's nothing that we if we must use it. Yes. It just keeps coming back to the same thing. Really, it looks like so they should just use it. Really, our world's message. They have medicinal purposes that those plants can also have medicinal purposes. Okay, and this is why honey is so popular in some places. The point is, she's having a conversation with someone she trusts to know. To her neighbor who loves his house more than God what to do. She's asking the person representing God's spirit. Sons are about to become slaves. What shall we do? Josephine. To your servant says, is out something. It makes no sense. Something. Wow, think of the Jews something. This right. So just a few. It says, "Go God, said I make every single possible because I want to give you a blessing, sir. You can't receive it. Listen to him." You sure this is the way, because the church. So I think it's going to be a routine pattern, right? Let's go back, right? Just routine. Right? And you want to do things. And God says, do something. Inside. So yes to you, this is an example for prayer. God's servant has told you what to do. He has shown himself to be God's servant. He has shown you the works of God's servant. God's servant. When it comes time, and pray like you never prayed before. It's not that it's a secret. It's recorded on God's word. You don't give somebody the false recipe for the success of this store. You don't want people walking to your door saying, "Hey, lady, you realize that little tiny jar oil you have isn't filling up that big bit. You do know that, right? Times that we makes sense. And it says do it. Substitution. Substitution. So the reason for closing the door in many capitals is to reduce distraction from performing. This lady had become distracted and stopped. Accidentally. Do you see it? The door's not closed. Don't let distractions take you away from that disease. Go ahead. So when you shut up with the so cease. Shade down. So the story starts because the ending makes no sense. Thank you. Sex. Stuff. What's this one? What's our part? That is the thing hurt your foot. Let's go again. The spiritual thing, there's the sin. They did not. She asked God for help. To sacrifice themselves for their children. He sacrificed himself to save his no. Sacrifice themselves for their children. To stop all the time. She doesn't want the children to be slaves. The response is, okay, they're not slaves. Now what? The implication here, friends, is that there is enough name to live until the children themselves could become generally employed. It's not that God gave them money so they could continue to sit in the chair and put food out. This woman's faith. He went to him, gave us the answer. She followed through with that provision, and her concern. Freedom. Today. Wait. So I went 7 different scholars on this, and I come to the same conclusion. This woman was granted through his death with no explanation except God to keep her children free. They could be self-sustained, self-supporting. That's the example that's given here. We may think with them, and you try to show them a better way, they make mistakes. Going to be a winning solution for someone who is too good for just when it's not just to give, it is to also train, to forward people to train. It is to try to teach them to be unfair. It is to try to teach them how to make it. Is to teach them how to store their food so it doesn't rot. Is to teach them things. Takes a larger investment than just a few dollars. God knows time. Some mistakes. It's one thing. That's something you left it. You shook the tree, you took the drops, you left everything else. People were free to come into your field and eat if they were hungry. They were walking through someone's room and they took because they were hungry. These suggest permanent solutions. The only permanent solution extreme and you don't quickly there were capabilities. There was a patriarchal society. Strength, they was equalism. They perhaps in domestic, learn to the food, if you please, the hospitality service center. That I'm misleading you this morning. Please, I am go back to the dress. So not to do anything, go back to from God himself. Spiritual things are spiritually discerned. What does this mean in terms of the second? I'm giving an easy answer here. Saying to about your strengths. The question posed are you this is because there's no is a means to learn rooms to childhood and healing. To recover themselves. Everyone is often the result of misfortune, as in our illustration. But true beneficence. The genuine interest in the workers. We should seek to understand the needs of the poor and distressed, to give personal effort time and effort is the truest charity. Should you desire to give to funds and box in the back, we have matching funds available to restock our pantry, matching funds available to restock our pantry to fish out the counter. This is not a message that is aimed at trying to increase contributions. It is a message to deal with what that we face. We want to help people. We to do that good. So question, are you really helping? Are you really helping? It's a tough one. It's up to you.